Everybody, religious fanboy here again. We're gonna talk about what we've read so far. I'm gonna reread some passages. Um, Something that I feel God's been telling me this week is like talking to me about this week is when I was studying this is like how sometimes we focus on convenience with kind of like expecting if we have good faith for our lives to be easy. Um and I think it's a cool reminder that we get from Revelations that even though we will go through hard times here on earth, God will always be there to provide for us and help us. If that means here as we're living, or, if, or in the sense that we'll be with Him when we die, we'll in eternity with Him if we have a relationship with Him and believe in Him. And um, we're starting with Revelation chapter 2, verses 8 through 11. And to the angel of the church of Samaria write these things, says the first and the last, who was dead and came to life. I know your works, tribulation, and poverty, but you are rich. And I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Do, do not fear any of those things which you are about to suffer. Indeed, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and you will have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful until death, and I will give to you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He who overcomes shall not be hurt by the second death. So even though we're believers, and we will face hardships, but as long as we're believers and have relationships with God, we will not fear the worst heart. We will not deal with the worst hardship, which is the second death. Um, now, now we're going to chapter 6, the fifth seal, the cry for the martyrs. When he filled the seal, I saw under the altar those of the souls who had slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth? Then a white robe was given to each of them, and sorry, was given to each of them, and it was said to them, they should rest a little while longer until both the number of the fellow servants and their brethren who would be killed as they were was complete. Um, that's just God, God fulfilling His promise that He made in the previous passage we read. And I know not all the stuff in Revelations is comfy, and when you hear Revelations, you don't necessarily think, oh, warm, fuzzy happiness. And some people have asked me, why do people that are commonly considered good people, and their only thing bad about them was that they didn't believe in God, why do they still die and go to and suffer the second death? And that's because there really two choices, because there's choosing to have a relationship with God, and you'll get to spend eternity with Him if you have a relationship with God and believe in Him and believe in the gospel. But believe in the death and the sacrifice and resurrection. And then there's yeah. And and the only reason why God is punished sometimes is because He just so desperately wants us to choose to be with Him. And um and we're gonna read um and I think and Um, and the passage that um and we'll talk about the rest of next week. Will be another Bible study video that will be on chapter 10. I'm gonna leave the passages. I'm gonna have the passages in the description, like the specific all the verses we've read in this video in the description, just so if you want to reread them again for yourself. Um, but and feel free to leave any questions on really just anything, or if there's questions you have on the Revelation Bible study so far. If there's a question you have, I will try to answer it to the best and on hopefully soon afterwards. Not on. I'll give an answer as soon as I know one. And with that being said, may God be with you, and see you next time. Bye.